Hello, and thanks for joining me. Today, I want to introduce you to the GRT. That's the Glock Recoil Assembly Tool. And this is it right here. It is an anodized ball of aluminum that's going to help you change the spring on your guide rod assembly. Okay, this is one of our stainless steel guide rod assemblies. And it's virtually impossible to change the spring without this tool. I mean, it can be done, but you have to have 3 hands, and they have to be gorilla hands because you've got to compress this spring down. So if you watch what happens, this spring will fit right into the ball as such, and you can compress it down and gain access to the screw that captures the spring. So in order to do that, I'm going to go ahead and put the guide rod into a vise, capture the bottom. Don't want to crush it, just want to hold it so I can use my Allen wrench to remove the spring. Put the GRT over top, compress it down, gain access to the screw, come in here, screw this guy off, and typically this is going to have Loctite in it, so it will be a little harder to take off. Okay, I'll put the screw down now, and then release the spring pressure, and I'll go ahead and I'll take the rod out of the vise, and you'll see there's really 3 elements to this assembly. One is the stainless steel guide rod itself. The other is the spring. And then inside that captures the spring is the washer that goes to help capture the spring onto the guide rod. Now, keep in mind, the guide rod that we're showing here is the stainless steel guide rod. It is much stronger than plastic, 3 times as heavy as the plastic, and it doesn't flex or bend, which is going to make your gun shoot better, more accurately, because it brings the slide back to the same spot every time, which helps align the barrel up every time. So the more consistent that action is, the more accurate your shooting will be from a shot to shot. Also keep in mind that we've had a lot of people call us over the years who've actually broken their plastic guide rod. The actual factory plastic guide rod can break. So this stainless steel guide rod and our tungsten guide rods will not break. They will last you basically, a lifetime. Now, you can replace this spring with a different pound spring depending upon what you want to do. Now, ask yourself, why would you want to change the spring weight? Competition shooters may want to reduce the spring weight because they want to shoot reduced loads, and they want to tune the gun to their particular shooting cadence. So that means when they drive the gun and they shoot those rapid double taps, dot, 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 they want this thing to cycle in cadence with their shooting technique, the way they hold the gun, the way they pull the trigger, and you can play with that with different weights based upon the ammunition you're using as well. I've also had an elderly couple had trouble pulling the slide back, and so we reduced the power of the spring to enable them to rack the slide. And there is a significant difference. I mean, the factory weight, as we know, is 17 pounds. You can get down to 11 pounds, which is not quite half, but certainly a significant portion below that, which makes it easier to rack the slide. And of course, you can also increase the weight of the spring if you're using hotter loads, even in competition or for self-defense. And that can help sometimes tame a little bit of the recoil and also help in the cycling of the gun. Again, a lot of that comes with experimentation with your particular shooting style and the ammunition you're going to use. To replace the spring, all we're going to do is go ahead and capture it in our vise. I'm going to use the tool, the GRT, and I'm going to drop the washer in first. And then I've selected a spring weight. I'm going to go ahead and put it right into the GRT just like so, the spring, and then compress the spring over top of the guide rod. And once it's down there like so, then take my screw, get it started by hand. And in real life, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put some Loctite on these threads before you screw it in there, okay? It's very important that you do so because it will vibrate itself out in normal shooting. But right now, we're just going to go ahead and show it like this, and then not over tighten it, just hand tight. Don't want to crank it down too much. And go ahead and remove that. You see this is the white color spring. So this one is 17 pounds. And that's how you replace the spring on your guide rod assembly, using the GRT. And this device, like I said, is invaluable because it makes changing a very simple process. And otherwise, it's next to impossible. So that's the GRT. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.